Hey my Shuga Bears, welcome back to my channel, Bougie AF. It's your host, OGJackeeNicole. It's where I say stay bougie on them. It's me feeding you feminism for the soul. It's my soul food offering. It's where I apply pressure to issues by being critical and logical. Now don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Now let's get to the commentary where I can guarantee you I will be doing too much because that's just me. And like Sherri said, who's gonna check me, boo? Welcome black y'all, you are tuned in to the Bougie AF channel. This is your girl OGJackeeNicole where I say stay bougie on it and I'm serving you feminism for the soul. Check me out on them people's Instagram at bougieaf_ish. You can also catch me on Twitter at IAM_bougie_AF. So listen, let's get into the business. Listen, I really hate, like, sometimes I be on Clubhouse listening to some of the most craziest shit, y'all. Like, it's just, and now, like, now more than ever, majority of the shit I don't take serious. I don't take these people serious. I don't even think I need to even interact with them seriously, right? That's the type of asshole I am, right? You show me your ass, I'm just going to make sure that I, treat you like an ass. Like, so it just is what it is. With that being said, there'd be all types of troll rooms. There's just this weirdo, like, lawyer that's on, like, Clubhouse. And he's, like, been overly exposed and all this other shit about him just being a trash-ass lawyer with a bad reputation in his city and town for not really doing his job well. Now, I don't know. It's all alleged. Y'all know how I like to keep it alleged. You get what I'm saying? But I'm just telling you what I heard, right? With that being said, I think he really aggravates me because when he thinks he's clever, and that's weird. You ever, like, been around somebody who thinks they're, like, clever or they're, like, witty, and you're like, no, you're none of those things. Like, I think of clever and wit, and you're like, you're never on my mind. You never come into the picture. That's just not the thing I think of when I think of you. But what I don't like that he does, he has a way of, like, manipulating, like, these little brainless little girls that he keeps company with, right? And it's just really weird when you see men that use women to, like, defend them in their trash assness, right? So he likes to always call everything in terms of, like, women empowerment, in terms of women just kind of advocating, standing up for themselves, and not just wanting a place in society that's more than them being valued for their looks, and that they bring something to the table and be treated properly, right? So he has a way of branding everything feminism, right? That's that feminism. If you look at that show and what it's talking about, it that's feminism. And it just be a woman who's just, like, walking in her power, owning and being a boss bitch, college educated, making the money she wants, and it'd be something like that, right? Not even something that even has underlying tones that people are trying to get out or send the message about feminism, but you just see a woman living her life on her own terms. And so you have this trash ass lawyer just trying to tear down feminism in the eyes of other women and in the eyes of people, right? And I'm gonna say, I'm not gonna mince my words when I say this, much less smarter people, right? And this is where we have these people who have orator abilities, and I've read a few books in their lives. They know their crowds, they know their audience, and they know how to feed into certain stereotypes or certain rhetoric that inflames them, right? And this is that type of trash ass nigga, right? So with that being said, he labels everything feminism, and I at this point, like, I can put money on it. There's always a boogaloo. There's always a girl with insecurity issues, a little weak little bitch who ain't found her voice yet. Oh yeah, I give it all the way the fuck up. There's always somebody, them type of females around to take up for the brothers, because they make them feel empowered. I'm an all-around asshole. How you want it? Because if you come for me, I'm coming back, right? And in terms of talking this shit, right? Because a lot of y'all be in your rooms and you be on them stages and you be trolling, because y'all can't say that y'all not in these rooms trolling people. Y'all can't say y'all not in these rooms talking shit into the air, knowing that you're specifically talking to people in the fucking room. Well, I'm specifically talking to you motherfuckers on this mic. What's up? So with that being said, All these different weak ass bitches around, always feeling some type of special because they got a loser ass nigga manipulating them. And it's really sad. I can actually put money on this. I've seen this in so many social circles. I've been in part of situations where this is always the case, right? A manipulative ass man and a lot of weak women who need attention and don't care who they get that attention from, right? Even if it's my big bro, my cousin, and all this other weirdo shit, so that they can just feel like they're part of something, right? So I just wanted to say that, not to say that I have too much to say about that. Just be careful about, like, who you allow to speak to you in a certain way. I'm very careful about that. Just because I love and I mean, like, your rap, or even if I am attracted to you, you don't get to kick no real shit to me in terms of like politics and social issues. That's not your lane, right? And everybody wants to talk about staying in their lane. And there's been so much rhetoric coming out lately about with different celebrities who are trying to cross over into like media field in terms of like interviewing and stuff like that. I'm not gonna call out no names, but that's not your lane. That's not your lane. And someone like me that actually is talented, someone like me that actually knows what the fuck I'm talking about, I'm going to make you my footstep. I'm going to do that, right? So any opportunity that I see to exploit the fact that you don't know what you're doing and the fact that there is no room being made for like new talent, right? I'm going to take it. Period. Nothing else to say. Like, there's no going back and forth about it, any of that. I'm going to fucking take it, right? Because there's a lot of people being put into situations that you clearly know, yo, you're trying to water down black women to look a certain way, characters. You don't want to highlight women or black women that are strong and that talk a certain way because you're trying to highlight another certain type of woman that is just, I'm gonna say, a pick me, a mammy type of a black woman, right? Because that's what's happening in society right now. When you have this pastor coming out and talking about Beyonce, you have Bishop T.D. Jakes coming out and telling women that they're too, I guess, educated and all this other stuff. You have all this weird ass messaging coming from black men right now in terms of black women and femininity, right? And there are some of us smart enough to, be able to step outside of a bubble and take a look at it. I don't even understand how some of you women who have daughters don't understand how this directly impacts younger women that are coming up. How it makes it harder for younger women to coming up. You may be a mammy. You may be a pick me. But that does not help your daughters who have to go into the into the work field. It does not. And to go into society and interact with other different men. That the fact that you're upholding bullshit ass niggas. It just doesn't help at all. And I have no idea why people can't see beyond themselves and see a bigger picture into things. But I think that's a part of the reason why we're so fucked up in the black community, because we don't have the ability, and sometimes we're not looking at the bigger picture of things. All right. Y'all see it. We're going to do a little Instagram scroll. I don't have specific stories. I have an idea of what I want to talk about, but let's get on to it and bring up it, because I am gonna be talking my ish. Yes, let's get into it. All right, so we down on the people's Instagram. Y'all know how I do. This is my Instagram. Go check it out, BougieAF_ish. We have a lot of saved stories that I want to get into. Get into it. All right, so let's see. Okay, so first up, since I started talking about the type of woman that is being elevated with a voice in our community, I can't beat around the bush. I feel that way about Sherri Shepherd. I feel that way about Sherri Shepherd in terms of her getting her own talk show, in terms of her actually want to put out rhetoric that she's the anti or she's the total opposite of Wendy Williams. And that's what women like Sherri Shepherd do, right? They come out and make it seem like I'm so better. I'm light. I'm fun. I'm a nice girl. They really dim themselves down. They shrink themselves, right? In terms of like, oh, I'm not like her. Right? So this is the type of woman that we have, and I knew it from the beginning. Like, I've known it. I've seen. I'm sitting back looking at it. I'm not a hater at all. But I like women that stand for something. So there's a tons of women in different spaces that I really can fuck with. I really appreciate what they're doing, as they're trying to make a name for themselves. I like a Kendra G. I think she's really dope. I think she's someone who also speaks up, and she has a real strong presence about with her opinions and different things like that. I love me some Tamron Hall. There's women out there that I really do like, right? So when I run across women that I'm just like, I don't see it, and you're setting us back, I'm gonna call it out. And Sherri Shepherd is one of those people for me. I'm just gonna be completely honest. So we have here at Hollywood Unlocked, it says Sherri Shepherd promised her talk show will not be mean when she takes over Wendy Williams' daytime spot. So it's like, why are you, again, you're mentioning Wendy again, so I'm gonna come for you. Every time you come for her, a woman who paved the way for you to do what you do, instead of you doing that lackluster comedy and that trash ass acting that you be doing. Yep. We gonna say it, right? So you're gonna go after Wendy Williams, right? You're gonna try to tear down her legacy and what she has done, because without Wendy, there is no what you're trying to do right now. Period. But let's continue, because you can't respect her, and so I can't respect you, and that's just what it is. Sherri Shepherd promises her talk show will not be mean when she takes over Wendy Williams' daytime spot. Ahead of the premiere of her new talk show, Sherri Shepherd is sharing her plans and what her production will look like. Speaking exclusively with the Daily Mail, the 55-year-old stressed that her show, which kicks off in September, will be more on the positive side when discussing hot topics. She told the outlet that there would be no mean jabs like Wendy Williams' segment that often slammed the Kardashian and Jenners. The actress said that the show will be celebrity friendly, as she wants to land some other big name guests like Oprah and Meryl Streep. I'm about joy, she shared. So you're just gonna do fluff commentary. That's what you're trying to say to us, right? Like, and that's fine, but again, you're mentioning Wendy Williams, and because you're mentioning her, I'm going to come at you full-heartedly for what the fuck you are going to be doing, right? You're going to be sitting on set, and you're going to be kissing ass. That's what you're saying. And so you use the name like Oprah because you know Oprah has actually made her own way and did it her way, right? So you mentioned another great person, right? Someone who probably wouldn't, maybe she did have a problem with Wendy Williams and wouldn't go sit with her. We don't know, because Oprah didn't speak on Wendy because she was making her own way without having to dog the next woman for how she was getting to hers, right? So Oprah's a real one. Let's be clear. I hate when people try to mention other people as if though they are in the same light as them, as if though they are equally yoked in any type of way of like, this is, I'm elevated to this type of level. So now I'm the type of person that can have Oprah. Like, what? Girl, please. And you know we don't respect you as being someone that's intellectual. We don't. Like, there's no beating around the bush. This is a girl that probably has to read the night before the show and really study to have conversations. We got to keep it 100. But this is who is being pushed in front of us. Get the fuck out of here. Couldn't even read her own husband. But he's getting paid. She added, let's be clear, I'm not a mean person at all. We know you just a dense, dumb person. Like, I'm just being completely honest. Like, this is somebody who I have no desire to ever, like, want to meet or work with, like, at all. Like, I wouldn't even write for her. I wouldn't even help point it. Like, I wouldn't even do any of that. I would have to respect you to stand behind you. I'm that type of person. Like, I have to respect you to stand behind you. Like, if I was to ever play backup to anybody, she would not be somebody I respected. I'm going to be completely honest. I sat and I watched The View, and for me, she was the worst part of The View when she was on. It was like the worst time, because you knew they dumbed down the conversation to have her on. They would let her lead segments, but it would be dumb segments. You can go back. It's on the tape. I ain't got to lie to kick it. It's on the tape. It's really on the tape. So I just remember, as you know, because I was still real young when I think she was on there. I think I was in my early 20s or something like that. I don't know, but I just know I stopped watching. I haven't really fully returned since then, right? Because I did not enjoy when she was on the show. I don't know. It felt like she was like a little lapdog co-host. Like they had to carry. She got quiet when politics came up, or she would act something in politics, but it'd be like real fluff. Like, I see you're going to like the Hamptons this week, and it'd be like some weirdo shit. weirdo. It'd be nothing about like policy. It'd be nothing about nothing like that. I'm keeping it 100. So we're looking forward to a show with all the social issues that we have going on and all the things that Black Americans are dealing with. This is not the person I trust to have conversation, to have real conversation on any type of capacity where millions and millions of people are going to be listening to. This is somebody that is going to it's just gonna be blah. This is gonna be blah. And like I said, I'm doing this because I usually stay away from kind of critiquing women in the business or who are trying to do what I do. I usually stay away, but because she can't stay away from Wendy Williams' name in her mouth, I'm not gonna stay away from Sherri Shepherd's name in my fucking mouth from now on. From everything, from head to toe. I'm not gonna stay away from it from here. Like, I didn't even really read this before doing this, so this is like the first time, and I was like, you still got her name in your mouth. You had her name in your mouth a couple months ago when you were talking about her health, as if though y'all speak on the phone, as if though you know what you're talking about. Don't speak on me if I don't know you. Like, and that's how I feel. And so to have her out here talking about Wendy like she knows, I'm like, girl, bitch, please, bye. Like, graciously take your show and do what you gonna do with it. That's it. But don't speak on her. That's how I feel. What else did she say here? What else? And that's why my talk show would embody. Why would it be anything but that? As a celebrity myself, exactly. This is why I don't like celebrities in these type of positions, because again, we're going to get watered down bullshit. And that's what we're getting. Even with, even with other, I'm not going to mention their names, but there's other people who doing podcasts and interviewing other artists, and other celebrities. I think we just seen an interview with Lori Harvey. She doesn't talk to anybody, but she decided to talk to Taylor. Like, we're seeing all this stuff popping off. Y'all not gonna feed us bullshit with your narratives. Y'all just not. That's not to say that I think Lori was saying any narratives, but it's just coming off as if though there's like this weird programming coming around and people trying to control narratives, right? And it's just really sick that people can't see through it, to be completely honest. Like, real media people can't see through it, right? So why are you guys not trying to put on people who can kind of keep... I feel like, as much as y'all don't want to say bloggers aren't journalists, but at least keep it honest. Like, keep conversations honest. At least bloggers keep them honest, right? And this is just whitewashing the actual profession, to be completely honest. Like, it's watering it down. So you guys can either, and I'm talking about people like, people have their own media companies and stuff like that. Like, there's actual real talent. There's real talent on YouTube. There's people who actually do research. There's actually people who actually do know how to interview. There's actually people who really do get to the bottom and provide great commentary. Don't be such a gatekeeper that you're willing to, it feels like at this point, cut your nose and spite your face in terms of not wanting to put new people on because you don't want to put people who aren't journalists on. But instead, what's happening is that we have celebrities becoming journalists, and we're getting false narratives. We're not really getting the stories. We're not getting like real conversations. Like, that's essentially what's happening. All right, so let's go see what my co-hosts in the comments have to say. All right, so this person says, I think the thrill of her taking over is gone. What thrill? Those of us who seen knows. Give us Wendy back. This is the people. We still don't want it. Like, okay. Like I said, and I'm someone who would like, I didn't say too much while all of this was going on because, again, I'm no hater. So I'm going through the comments. I'm looking and seeing what people were saying under the Wendy show that she built. The name, the title was still the same on everything on Facebook. So I'm looking through everything, and the comments are consistent. This is what people are saying. And I think, people were tuning in because, again, everybody was always hoping for Wendy to come back the way that we know her to be. Now, me personally, if Wendy from the radio would have came back, I would have been okay with fucking that. I've always wanted Wendy from the radio. I'm going to be completely honest. I think this is an ecosystem of certain things are needed to balance it out. So for me, I'm going to say it again. Someone like Wendy Williams and how she reports, and even if people don't like it, I always think there's something, it's needed. It's needed. Anytime that you can have Kevin Gates do an interview and try to, and he did it with academics, and this is not somebody who I'm going to say that I think is a talented person that should be pulled from YouTube, because academics at this point is a celebrity too, but he's also not well researched in terms of, or even have the cojones to sit across from another man and question him hard. He's not that nigga, right? So with that being said, Kevin Gates can sit in an interview with him and manipulate that court case that ended up, that case, the situation of him kicking that woman that landed him in jail. He could manipulate it in a way to make it seem like niggas was just hating. Like, what the fuck? So nobody, is he talking to himself? Nobody's gonna push back like, well, you did do this. And I don't think people were celebrating because you are a black man. I think they were celebrating you being held accountable for kicking the girl. None of that. You got trash ass Demics sitting there laughing. This is what we getting right now, right? All right, so here we go. It needs to be entertaining or it's not gonna last. They're telling you. We don't care. We want the drama, ma'am. I love the people. The people is telling her, the co-host, Wendy's co-host. I mean, like, I'll be completely honest. I got that from Wendy Williams. Wendy's co-host, like, they're literally telling you what the fuck it is. We want the drama, ma'am. It's already canceled before it started. Laugh out loud. Once she said it won't be mean, laugh out loud. See, it's already boring. When she said Oprah and Meryl Streep, I was like, okay, so because I mean, you got to be from a particular age group to even really kind of know who those people are. Everybody knows black people know Oprah, but like really know who she is. To like, oh, Oprah's on Sherri, let me tune in. Like that's gonna only hit a certain group of people. That's not gonna hit a demographics of like 18 or 35. It's just not. Period. Pooh. And if it's all about the demographics, you're not gonna hit that with that. So it's already fun. And for Meryl Streep, that is 45 to 65 demographic. So like who, I don't even think they're gonna tune in for that, because like, let's be honest, like what, girl, please, it could be whatever, I'm still not watching. Laughing emoji. Her show would not be successful because she's allowed corporate America to use her to tear down another person's show. Oh baby, talk about it. Oh, we on it now. Like, we on it because you got to keep her name out your mouth. She's a legend. Y'all can play with it if you want to. Wendy Williams is a legend. Wendy Williams is a legend from what she did at radio, when she was at BU. She's a legend. You could never walk in her shoes. Even with them feet not working, you couldn't walk in those fucking feet. Period, Pooh. Oh, we giving it up today. Oh, we giving it up. This person says her show would not be successful because she allowed corporate America to, and I said this, like, yo, I don't like when I, like, what's so dope about Wendy Williams, right? Agree with her or not, she built it off of what she wanted to say, and you had to respect it. You couldn't change it. You couldn't flip it around. You couldn't make her say anything that she did not want to say in terms of like how she wanted to give up. And I think that's why I'm so committed to, like, I'm not changing shit. Right now, if you have your own show and I want to be a part, or I get down with it, that's your show. I gotta fall in line and do, move how you want to, move how you moving, because that's your shit. But my own shit, nah, I'm not I'm not doing it. No, not at all. And I love Wendy Williams for being that person for me to just see, to be able to say like, nope, don't change it. They'll get it. They'll get it sooner than later. Yeah, they'll get it sooner or later. Sherri Shepherd is so trash. I'm going to be completely honest. To use her to tear down another person's show. America saw her trying to convert an audience that wasn't even hers. Okay? Like, how do you respect that? Ugh. I understand she had her dreams of her own show. When did this dream happen? After comedy? Like, I'm confused. But how this was done will not breed success for her. This is how people feel. Like, I can only tell you this is how people feel. This is outside of me giving y'all energy for this. Outside of me, being on 10 about this. Like, it's real talk. I'm so confused. Who is Sherri Shepherd? That's what someone said. I wonder what will set her show apart from other joyful shows as Kelly Clarkson. Is that still on? I'm not sure. I'm not been trying to be funny. I'm not sure. I know Kelly Clarkson has one. I know, what's her name? Drew Barrymore has one. I did watch a few of Drew Barrymore, and it was good. I'm going to be completely honest. It was good. It was very cutesy. But it was most definitely, it fits Drew Barrymore, right? But she came in walking, in her own light, and like, you just knew her for that. So, I mean, you can't expect someone to be, different than what they really are, than who they really are. And I think the same thing could be said for Sherri Shepherd, but that's why this is so annoying, because unlike Drew Barrymore, Sherri Shepherd continuously keep on trying to talk shit about Wendy Williams. And so that's what making it seem like, okay, if you know that you're not like that, then leave that alone. Everyone knows that you can't do what she does. So just leave it alone by mentioning her name. But you and I both know, Sherri, we're going to keep it 100. You don't even make Hollywood Unlock on the blogs if you don't mention Wendy Williams. So people want to be mad, but Wendy Williams is the polarizing person. Either love it or hate her, she can grab attention. You don't grab attention. You don't grab attention. And some people, it's so hard for them to realize or to grasp what that's about. Like some people literally, I'm talking about in real fucking life outside of celebrities. Some people are going to be able to get attention just for walking in the room, their presence. And that's just what it is. And she's one of those women. You're not. Sorry to tell you. You're not. Where's the leading roles if you that girl? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Where's the Netflix series if you that girl? We gotta be completely honest. Like, where's it at? Where's the comedy albums? Where's it at? Where's all the endorsements that show us that you that girl? Where's all the features or the cameos and all the other stuff that shows us that you that girl? Yes, you've been booked and busy. You've had, little, backup roles, or part of something. But where's your shit at? Oh, okay. We got to be completely honest, because you talking about a woman that's always, this is mine, been mine since college. Right? So we're talking about a different type of woman, right? Because you want to bring up Oprah and all this other shit as if those different levels. Like, Wendy is on Oprah's level in media. So what are we talking about? Let's keep going. Wendy Williams isn't about being transparent. Wendy Williams, it's about Wendy Williams. Wendy, it's about being transparent. Y'all don't like the real, but that's what made Wendy. Like, for real. Like, that is what made Wendy. I'm still not watching someone says two totally different dynamics. I love this for Sherri. And that's the thing is, we could have loved this for her, but you keep talking about this woman. Wendy was mean sometimes, yes, but she was real. Okay? Oh, baby, we not watching. I love people. I love it. I love it when they give it up. They giving it up. We're just gonna keep giving it up because Sherri, now, like, yeah, like now you're going off after one of my top 5 people, and I let everybody talk about whoever's in my top 5 because I know when I really start talking, like they just haters, right? But like you're going after somebody that I really adore, and that's not to say I have always agreed with Wendy. That's not to say I've watched her daily on the last few years, but that's a bad bitch, right? And she just picked wrong. And as somebody, Sherri Shepherd should understand, she picked wrong and she got older, and she got sick. And that's literally what happened. And I don't know any woman out there who can't understand that. Picking wrong, life happening, right? And you not being able to fix that bad pick. Kelvin was a bad choice for her. He helped her with her business, but she could have found any nigga. You know what I'm saying? That would have hopped on and been a worker. Because that's what the fuck he was. And if he made her, anybody out there that think he made her, then motherfucker make another one. What Sabrina, whatever the fuck her name doing? Because from what we know from them people's impressive on the YouTube, that's also another great talent. What we know from her is that Serena ain't even a good businesswoman and keeps on making business and fucking up money, right? So if you made Wendy, Kelvin, make another one. We want to see it. Woman, you can hit me up. I ain't shit sometimes. All right, so let's keep going. Listen. Oh, don't talk about Wendy. Like, there's some people just don't talk about Wendy. Don't talk about Wendy. Don't talk about Beyonce. Don't talk about K. Michelle. Like, it gets even ratcheter with me with K. Michelle because, listen, just don't talk. Just don't. Toni Braxton, Kenya Moore. Don't talk about these women. Patti LaBelle. Like, I'd be ready to take out a switchblade. Like, what you say? Don't talk about these people. Listen, I'm into comedy and laughing. It is dark. It is sometimes mean, but it is what it is. So moving on to some mean comedy. Social media reacts to Michael Blackson making a Brittany Griner joke. I mean, let's see what he said. He said, when Brittany Griner get out, I want to be the first one to give her some dick. I think that is funny. I'm gonna be completely honest, and I don't care what y'all say. Y'all not. Hold on one second. Okay, y'all not ruining comedy for me. I don't care. I don't care who y'all let ruin it for you, but you're not ruining it for me. Y'all not doing it. Y'all not doing it. This is a Richard Pryor, Paul Mooney, George Carlton kind of girl over here. Y'all not ruining it for me. It is what it is. Get over it. It's funny. It was funny. Child, Michael Blackson is catching some heat on social media after the Brittany Griner joke he made. Roomies, what y'all think? So this is on the Shade Room, and so Michael Blackson, I'm just here for the comments. Listen, that's my nigga. I met him though when he came to Boston. It was like years. I mean, this is at a club at Blue Wave. I think he was friends with the promoters that was had that night. And this is at the time he was still wearing like the African like robe and shit like that. He came to Boston, but I did meet him. Like he's cool. He's not like one of those celebrities that are like weird when you meet them, right? That's my impression of him. He seemed nice, but he's funny as fuck. In case y'all want to, so what else did he say? This is him again. In case y'all want to get me deported, it's too late. I'm a citizen now. You just have to make the jokes. Like, just make it. Like, that's how I feel. That's why I'm able to turn everything motherfuckers say to me into something really funny. Like, it's crazy. In case you want to get me deported, it's too late. I'm a citizen. What else do people say? We can say that exact same thing on stage and everybody laughs, but on social media where everybody is mostly unhappy, talk about it, Little Duval. It's like y'all choose to be offended. Lil Duval, you do offend with some dumb shit you do say sometimes, but he's right. Like, in real life, this is not like people are cracking mean jokes in real life. People play the dozens in real life and go back and forth and say fucked up shit to each other. That's just what happens in real fucking life. So when I see people online trying to apply some type of weird morale, I'm a better person and this is not how you behave, I just say bullshit. Like, that's just not even possible. Within any friend group, there's swearing and inappropriate jokes or politically incorrect stuff is being said in real fucking life. That is what's happening in real fucking life. So when I see people online try to act like that's not what's happening in real fucking life, I think it's weird. So that's why on one of my Facebooks where I've been talking hella shit about some people from my high school. No, because in real fucking life, this is what they're doing, right? So what I'm not going to do is make people feel as if though I'm going to pretend to be something else online when I know what niggas are doing in real fucking life. In real fucking life, niggas got kids. In real fucking life, they have relationships. Real fucking life, they have husbands and happy, supposedly happy in real fucking life. I'm sorry, on Facebook, they're happy, they have kids, they're living life to the fullest, they don't have time for nothing, they just out here glowing. But in real fucking life, they got time to talk about me. They got time to get with other people and act like they have problems with me. So that's what I'm saying, like real fucking life and being busy with the kids and with the people who love you and the great career and all this other shit. But that's all just an act a lot of time. Because if you got all of that shit going on, there's one thing for sure and two things for sure is that my name and what I don't have going on or whatever, because I'm not hitting you up for nothing, should not be a concern if you so fucking happy in your real motherfucking life. In your real fucking life, though. It has to be in your real fucking life, though. And you gotta have that energy when I see you in real fucking life. Because when you create problems with somebody like in your head or because other people got a problem with you, so you get along and you get with them, when I see you, you got to tell me like, oh, so I'm just gonna be like, so when this happened, like when did we stop beefing? I'm confused. Because in real fucking life, it be nothing. Whole bunch of laughing. He's a comedian. Why they tripping? Exactly. Like in real fucking life, y'all are weird. All right, so what else is going on out there? There was somebody else who made an inappropriate joke and people got mad. I don't care. The shit was funny. Where is it at? Where is it at? This shit was funny right here. Listen to this. So, wait. So this story is Kathy Hilton thought she was on Andy Cohen. Andy Cohen's show on Laugh Out Loud or whatever. I don't know. Is that Laugh Out Loud? Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen on Bravo. And let me tell you, this shit was funny as fuck. And it just is what it is. It's comedy, right? Some of y'all will take it too personal. Some of y'all are gonna get mad, but it just is what it is. The shit is funny.
Will Kathy know this lady? Yes. I feel like I do, Precious. No, that's that is Lizzo. She is Precious. Lizzo's Precious. Will Kathy know?
I don't give a fuck what y'all talking about. That shit was funny. That she thought that was Precious. I'm gonna be completely honest, that was funny. I don't care. We can't unsee Gabrielle Sidibe as Precious. And I don't care what the fuck y'all saying out there. Every time y'all see her, y'all think of Precious. And the fact of the matter is, this woman, for her, Lizzo and Precious I don't care. That shit is funny. I think, at the end of the day, folks gotta learn how to laugh. I mean, it's a joke. Like, at the end of the day, like in real fucking life, Lizzo don't look like Precious in the face. She don't. But it's still fucking funny, right? Because literally, it's still fucking funny. Like, I mean, what y'all want us to, like, what y'all want people to say? Like we're not talking about two fat women. Because I want us to say, y'all want us to not to know that we talking about two fat black women, right? Is that what it is? We want to act like we're not, like they're just not, like they're not actually two fat black women. Is that what we want to do? Like, I can't help y'all with that type of delusion, right? And so, again, this shit is funny. So let's see what the comments say. So the neighborhood, this is found on the Neighborhood Talk. So this was Kathy Hilton. Maybe you guys know her. She is, what's her name? Paris Hilton's mother. They own the Hilton Hotels. Goes without saying, hella money. So here we go. Lord, no, she didn't. Nope. Folks can be mad all they want. This shit is funny as fuck. Oh, that's me. I hate her. And who is she? In her defense, she even thought Garcelle was her own sister, Kyle. Oh, Kathy. Okay, no, that's whatever. Man, Precious is a fictional character. Let's start there. I'm laughing because I'm just now seeing they have Gabrielle Sidibe and they have Gabrielle, they have Kathy Hilton, and then they have Lizzo's picture, and you clearly can see, and they chose the blackest picture of Gabrielle. That is so crazy, but you can clearly see they facially do not look alike. It's basically because they're two fat black women, and that just is what it is. And everybody should know, you go on Andy Cohen's show, that for the one-liners, you listen for the one-liners and the funny outtakes and the outlandishness of it all. So, like, what's the problem? It was outlandish and it was funny as fuck. And that's why we tune into the show when we do watch it. So, like, what the fuck? This is so not funny, but laughing my ass off. No, y'all know Kathy be in her own world. She don't know, y'all. She barely even listen to music. Exactly. Funny, yes, but not funny. Haha. That's me in the back trying to fix it for my friend. She is Precious. They set that lady up for that one. Them laughing ain't sitting right with me. The fact that y'all posted this, shaking my head, any and everything is funny, I guess. Paris, get your mama. All right, y'all. I mean, all right, so let's get into our next story. So one of the things I love to do is highlight the black men that I really respect, and I really like to just bring attention to who they are and who they continue to be in terms of being just black excellence, right? So it's really important for me to like really talk about when I do get stories, just to highlight certain men that I do bring that up. I think more or less it's not, I don't think I go out my way to kind of, find certain stories, but I'm a realist, and realistically, what grabs headlines are usually the violence, it's usually the trauma, is usually just bullshit ass stuff. So it's not a lot of room for, people doing positive and just being great human beings. That's not going to get, like, that's not what's making the blogs, right? So when I do find those stories where it has made the blogs of just men that I do actually look up to and most definitely admire, I most definitely want to talk about that. And one of those men for me is Judge Mathis. Now, there's so many different men that I love to talk about and highlight and will always stand from them. I mean, I have a list. I mean, it's from Denzel to LeBron James to Samuel L. Jackson, Cedric the Entertainer, Dick Gregory, Shannon Sharp. Oh, fine, that's Shannon Sharp for me. Stephen A. Smith, Jay Williams, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Shaq, Kwame, Kwame Brown, Will Smith, D.L. Hughley, Tyler Perry. There's all these different men that I think have been fantastic stand-up black men in the community, right? And that's not to say that, and I made sure to mention some controversial people that have been in the news, in the blogs lately because of, difference of opinions, but that doesn't take away from me the men that they've been in our community, right? Whether or not someone cheated on their wives before, that doesn't take away from me the men that they've been for the community and how they stand, right? Because you can, like I said, you don't be knowing people's relationships and what the details of that. And with that being said, they're still great men, and I still like to highlight them and bring attention to these type of men and make sure the world knows this is blackness to me. Like, this is what black men look like, right? And for me, one of those men is Judge Mathis. So, I just think it's really important that when, especially for me, I think it's really important that I offer that balance of like what I do admire. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, I forgot Ice Cube. He's one of those men that I most definitely do admire. And there are other rap men in the business that I most definitely admire. It's really important that I could offer that type of balance because I never want to come off as though I have a vendetta or I hate black men. I've ran into, and I'm completely honest with this, I've ran into a handful, not even. I really only think I've ran into like 3 men that have ever disrespected me in life. So I don't come from that standpoint of, men have did me wrong all my life and all this other stuff, so I hate black men. No, I'm quite able to see the difference between the type of black man that I do not fuck with, don't want to be around with, don't want to be in association with, don't want to interact with, versus the men that I do admire, and the men that I do like to see the attributes that I like to see in regular people. Like I know who that is, right? And I think that's very important. But I think, like I said, there's just this thing that is happening where all men. Let me say, there's this thing that's happening where I think some men, out of solidarity for other men, like to group themselves in a way that makes that they think that they're all the same, right? A Pookie and a Ray Ray is not the same as somebody like a LeBron or like a Stephen A or a Jay Williams and stuff like that. These are 2 different types of men, and I hate when these types of men feel like they need to take up for the degenerate type of men. I don't feel like I need to take up for the Keishas and all the hood rats and the ratchet behavior in a way that I feel like as if though if I don't, I'm letting somebody talk about me. I don't know. How can I say that? I don't relate. You get what I'm saying? So if I don't relate, I don't feel attacked. So y'all remember that woman who I think she was in Rhode Island and she was like running for some type of seat or something like that. And she was twerking and stuff like that. You're never going to hear me take up for no bullshit like that, right? I don't feel attacked when men, call that out or people call that out. I'm just not quite sure why men feel across the board attacked when a certain type of men are being called out, right? I don't think you should feel that type of solidarity towards ignorance, just to be completely honest. So with that being said, let's get into Judge Joe Mathis, who calls for black men to help their communities more. Black Lives Matter marches were black women and white kids while our black men sat back and killed each other. Now, come on, talk about it, Judge. So we're going to go ahead and get into that.
ESPN for playing your video games and sending your woman out there to go and march and protest and fight for voting rights, registering voters, out here protesting. The majority of the Black Lives Matter marches were black women and white kids, while our black men sat back and killed each other, falling into this trap that they have set for us by failing us in our education system, bringing in guns and sending out the jobs. And you chumps are going forward like a bunch of suckers. And you're supposed to be cool. You're supposed to be the man. No, you ain't no man. Ain't nothing. You's a punk. Until you stand up and fight for your women, stop sending them out there, turn the TV off, go out there with them, sit down, stand up. Everything our black sisters need and our families, give it to them. Otherwise, brothers, you don't matter. Watching ESPN for playing your video games and sending your woman out there to go and march and protest and fight.
All right, so that's our good guy, Judge Mathis, just calling out these black men, because that's the reality of what we've seen in terms of the Black Lives Matter. It was most definitely filled with warrior women, Xena and them type of women, and just really just being on the front line and holding it down. And black men just sitting back and letting that happen. So, and it's so weird, to hear this black man call out, come out and just say what we all seen, but then also see men try to politic, not try to politic, but try to preach for wanting this position in society, and especially within the community. And it's sort of like, well, you got to show up, right? If you want to be the head, and us to be the tail, that requires you showing up to be the head. And I think it was most showing that, that did not happen during these marches. That's not happening socially within our communities in terms of like who's leading in our communities, right? So you can't ask for one thing and not do it, and not be doing it, because are you just asking for you to be made to feel like you're a king, even though you're not acting like a king? And I think that has a lot to do with that mammy enforcement and that pick me, because you should only be kinged when you behave like a king. I should only be queened when I'm behaving like a queen. Like, you know what I mean? So I have no idea why men or even people think just because I was born in a specific gender that I innately have a right to certain things in society in terms of like how I'm positioned or how I'm treated and how I'm viewed. And that's just not how that goes, right? If you act like an asshole, you're an asshole, right? If you show up like a jackass, then what are we supposed to look at you like? If you show up like a clown, that's what you is, right? Right? So, at the end of the day, I'm not quite sure why black men just think that automatically I'm a king. No, that does not mean that. That does not mean that. I think for somebody like take for example, LeBron James, he was a king in high school. Period. Pooh? He was a king in high school. And if you knew his story, where he came from and how he conducted himself to get to where he's at, then you understand what I'm saying. Right? You understand that he came from a single mother. Right? You understand he didn't fall into a lot of pit steps. You understand he's always conducted himself a certain way, so he can say that. And I can more than okay with calling him a king. Right? And that's a young king. So there's a level of expectation that comes with that. It's not just because. And that's the most disheartening and frustrating part, because we're just letting these kids think that, these people think that they're just kings for no fucking reason. That's not how that go. You can't be a king and be a deadbeat, baby. That's not how that go. That's not how that go. You can't be a king and be petty with your baby mama. That ain't how that go. Nickel and diming with your baby mama. Not wanting to buy some kid some motherfucking McDonald's when you can afford it. That ain't king behavior. Talking about that Fredro Star. That ain't king. Like, what the fuck is that? That nigga garbage. For real. That ain't king behavior. I'm only gonna submit. I'm only gonna suck a nigga's dick if I think he's a king. In real fucking life. Like carrying his weight. Doing what he's supposed to do. So I don't know. Y'all got the game fucked up out here. So I'm not knighting your little badass sons that you didn't get the proper help growing up and figure that shit out. I'm not doing it. I can't do it. These niggas ain't my sons. Period, Pooh. And that's out to all you women out there that when women address bullshit ass men, you try to bring up your sons. Like, what is the fuck is you talking about? I'm talking about these niggas over here. These ain't my sons. And they ain't your son. So why are you bringing up your son? Hopefully you're trying to raise a child that's nothing like what we see out in these streets. But I don't think it's a defense to talk about I'm a boy mom. What the fuck does that mean? Real talk, what the fuck does that mean? Woo! Let me see what my co-host is saying, but shout out to Judge Mathis and all the men like him. I like me some Judge Joe Brown too, but he be really manosphering it though. Some shit he be saying, I'd be like, okay, calm down. He goes in really too hard on women sometimes. I love his opinions about different things because for me, I love sitting listening to my elders talk because they can help put some stuff together that we've not been able to, I feel like, archive in a way that won't be lost when they're gone. And Judge Joe Brown is one of those people. There's so many different people. I wish that we were more into having actual real conversations with them. And they've passed, so that time has passed, but man, Man, y'all, there's just so many different people I wish I could just sit down and just talk to, from a historical point, so they could just put some things in context for me. But Judge Joe Brown, for me, like I said, he's a great source of information. Judge Mathis is a great source of information in terms of how he's able to talk about the crack epidemic and what he's seen and what he experienced, even living through that, right? And how he can just really be able to hold black people accountable, outside of them being able just to point to white supremacy about everything. That is the most frustrating part about our community, right? There's this weird need to always want to pass the buck in terms of like the things that we are experiencing in our community. And I know what white supremacy and systematic racism is doing to our community. I know what that is. I know what that looks like, right? I also know the effects of those different types of things and how they can negatively affect and apply pressure within the community that will most definitely result in a lot of different type of situations that could cause violence in the community. Quite aware of all of that shit, right? But I also know that y'all niggas are overdoing it. I know you guys are trying to find y'all are placing the blame towards that for everything, and it's just unacceptable at this point, right? Like even talking about that Dallas coach who was coaching little league football, and how he was gunned down by a former NFL player. Aqib Talib's brother allegedly shot this man because of something that they did not like happening on the field, right? Long story short, a fight ensued between parents and this coach, and at one point in the video you see this coach with a stick fighting off 4, 5, or 6 different people, right? And these people could have easily jumped on this man and beat him down. But no, this punk ass nigga decided to pull out a gun and shoot this man. Now this man is gone, killed right in front of his motherfucking son. And you mean to tell me I'm supposed to sit back and say that's white supremacy? And I say that to say, because as I was going through the comments, I knew it was going to come up, and before I said it, and then before I even found the fucking post of someone who just said, y'all, this is happening because y'all know y'all killed our leaders in the 70s. Y'all know white supremacy, what it's doing to our community, and you still haven't paid reparations. And I'm all for the paying for the reparations. I'm a reparationist, right? I'm for that. But I know this ain't the time and place, but it ain't got shit to do with shit, right? That bullshit ain't got shit to do with shit. This man is dead. You want me to sit here and blame white supremacy? Oh, fuck out of here. I refuse. I refuse to let you niggas get away with always trying to blame white supremacy for everything. No, not when we're talking about the shit that goes on intercommunally. No, I'm not doing that. We're not doing that. It just don't even make sense. You gonna tell me that white supremacy has taken your mind to that extent that you out here shooting coaches over a child football game? Ain't no scholarships being handed out at this football game. Ain't no money being made at this football game. It don't make no sense. It don't make no sense at all, right? So I don't know. I just think we just really need to do a better job at understanding that there's just a lot of shit within our community that we need to fix. I know in terms of like mental health, everyone all of a sudden when somebody gets in trouble or somebody goes to jail for doing something crazy, all of a sudden everybody come out talking about the mental health. But for me it's we have to be careful with that. We have to, because then we're watering down the importance of being aware of our mental health and, making sure that we get the help and calling things a thing, because you can't just do some crazy shit then all of a sudden you got mental health, because then I'm gonna feel like, okay, did nobody else see this mental health issues that you were going through? Did nobody else try to get you some help? Now how all of a sudden your family and shit coming forward talking about you got mental health, but sat back and watched your crazy ass throughout life and said fucking nothing to interrupt you and intervene. Said nothing to intervene in your craziness until you did some. Get the fuck out of here. Right? So, if you are going to act like you are aware of what mental health is and, be an advocate and supporter of people getting the help they need, be that person in your family, right? When you see crazy in your family, to call that the fuck out and try to get them the help that they need. That's being honest. Not wait until they do some extremely crazy violent shit to someone to be like, I think they suffering from mental health. Fuck out of here. You knew that. You knew motherfucker was off from the very beginning. They've been getting in trouble their whole fucking life. Now all of a sudden it got to a point where you can't hide it no more. Now all of a sudden you want to see the mental health in them? Baby, I'm ignored like you've been ignoring it all these motherfucking years. I promise you I am. I promise you, I'm gonna piss you off because I'm promise you I'm ignored like you ignored it. You and yours ignored that shit too. So they were treating you like you were normal. So what you want me to do? Period, poo. Because it don't work like that. All right, so let me see what my co-hosts are saying. Judge Greg Mathis calls for black men to help their communities more. Is this message needed for black men? So Erica Alexander the Great said, come on, right? Because come on, if y'all don't know who that is, she's most definitely a reparationist. She does a lot of work with trying to get reparations through. And I think you most definitely remember her from Living Single, right? Okay, the lawyer from Living Single, really strong personality, just really dope. Like, I've really admired her a lot over the years. There's a really dope interview between her and the Breakfast Club. I can most definitely shout that out. They did a dope interview with her. Please go check that out. Spiritual Goddess 333 says, anyone needs a love or what? This is stupid. Okay, yes, DJ Spinderella said yes, because you can't ask for it both ways. So that's why, I'm even going to go back to saying, that's why I always bring up Taraji P. Henson singing on that motherfucking stage to black men. Because it was sort of like, what is you singing to, and who are you singing to? And put an address on it when you decide to just sing to somebody, like black men. No. Say, I'm singing to men like LeBron, and men like Denzel, shit. Put an address on it so we understand, like, what you mean, what type of men you singing to. Because if you were up there singing to the Pookies and Ray Rays as if though the problem is that they need to be a little bit more loved, girl, you lost in the motherfucker. You lost. They're actually really clueless. Like, that is crazy. Education is key. Quit chasing Instagram dreams and get some real success. Call a thing a thing. He's absolutely right. Facts. We have to vote. The problem with folks is when someone says us black men or y'all black men, they think they're talking about every last single black man. Okay? Now, this is the first time I read this because y'all just said this to y'all. Like, when I say, or when I know who I'm talking about when I'm referring to dusty fuckboys, all of that. I know who that is. That's not all black men. I've had great and seen great examples of black men growing up in my life. I can distinguish. They're not. It's black men as a whole. Of course there are black men helping, supporting, and raising their community. He's saying collectively. Folks gotta get it together. Walking high and listening to rap music is running out us. I'm not quite sure. Walking high and listening to rap music is running out us. Okay. Hopefully they step up though, because he's speaking nothing but facts. Amen. No lies were told. He was speaking nothing but the truth. Where was he at? About time somebody with a big voice said it, because we've been saying it. It may not apply to a few, but a very few. It may not apply. I think she means to say it may not apply to. It may not apply to a few, but a very few. Okay. It may not apply to all, but it most definitely apply to a few. Speak on it, fire. I mean, it's not wrong. He's not lying. I mean, because at the end of the day, I feel like I've been saying it. That's why when Tina Knowles came out and talked about, like, love your black men, love black men, it's like, girl, like what? I know you ain't been out on these streets in a little bit and been in this dating thing because, you's a wife. I get it. I get it. But honey, the problem ain't these niggas ain't loved or not, because as I go from talking about Judge Mathis, look at this, Miss Tina Knowles. Mother of 6 fatally stabbed multiple times by her boyfriend, knife still lodged in her head when police found her, reports say. Mother of 6 had a restraining order on that man. Don't know why she was in his presence. Maybe she was trying to work with a nigga. Maybe she was trying to love a nigga again. You get what I'm saying? Maybe she was trying to do all of that. But I know it resulted in her death. That's what we do know. And I won't even open up that. I can't open that up, y'all. I'm not going to be completely honest. I have not covered that story because it's hard to look at. It's hard to look at 6 beautiful girls and know that they don't have a mother anymore. to know that their mother probably tried to work it out with their father, right? The things that everyone tells you to try to do in terms of black love, right? I remember this weekend I had a conversation with this white girl, and she was so smart to me. She was like 19 or 20 years old. She was like this young lady that was just like really wise beyond her years. And so we got into this conversation, and she herself was a lesbian, and she was just telling me about the different things that she experienced as being a lesbian, and also which was really eye-opening, and her telling me how, she is very demonized and she gets treated a specific way, at times that she feels like her life is in danger because of her choices she's chosen to make in terms of, being with a woman, and how she really doesn't deal with men because, and she was talking about white men. This is a white girl talking about white men, and it sounded like other black women I've heard talk about in the past of not wanting to interact or be in community with being in community with men because of their toxicity. So it was very interesting to see this white girl talk about it in her own, just to share with me her own experience. And I remember telling her, I experienced a little bit of that too in terms of my being a feminist. It's not something I brag about. It's not something I talk about out loud to a lot of people, because I know a lot of people don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I've done the reading to even, have that type of conversation with them. But nor do I think that that's all of my conversation. So I never want to be perceived as somebody who can't hold great just conversation overall. And that I always have to come from a feminist, type of point of view, which I think a lot of people anticipate, because I do let you know that I am one, right? With that being said, I was telling her, within our community, talking about this woman who's been killed by her baby father. I was telling her, a lot of times there's a lot of conditioning within the community in terms of what it means to be black. And part of that conditioning happens to be like, oh, you don't call the police, right? So you have less, you don't have as many women reporting their domestic violence, right? You don't put a man on child support. And then you see women who will short their children because the black community tells them, you don't put a man into the system. You try to work it out. Society is already hard on them. Don't you add to it. There's all these different layers of expectations that happen within the black community that a lot of times people on the outside don't know about. And that's why, a lot don't know about, right? So when I say that there's been a lot of indoctrination within the black community, that a lot of people will not be, and especially if you're not in it, do not understand, don't know what I'm talking about, because some of y'all don't know, because the things that are happen within our community are so, I'm not going to say barbaric, it's so outdated, it's so oppressive and suppressive. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's so much of that does not exist in modern day, that does not exist a lot of times in a lot of modern day cultures, I want to say, right? So with that being said, it's just really hard to try to explain what this experience is as a black woman, especially to a lot of people outside of our race. And that's why y'all listen to the last video. Mind your business, white folks. I promise you, there's just so much going on in terms of the intricacy of the community and how it has evolved to what it is now, and the dynamics of what happens between us, right? So that's mind your business. If you see me going off on niggas on my timeline on Facebook or any other app, and you white and you don't know what I'm talking about, just mind your business. Mind your business. I promise you, none of this shit gonna make sense. None of this shit's not gonna make sense, because it barely makes sense to me. I just know what the fuck it is, right? And I just know how to meet it where it's at, right? I'm gonna meet you where you're at. Period, poos. Don't have that great expectation of me. Oh, you know better, so you should, respond better, and you're a little older, and, and you just know better. So, that's not what you're supposed to do. I promise you, I don't want to hear none of that. Don't want to hear none of that. I don't want to hear none of that, right? Because, again, you're literally trying to condition me to be some type of mule, some type of doormat, some type of strong black woman that can endure. And I'm not signing up. I'm not signing up for it. Don't want no parts of it. I don't know who Mammy's story that is, who Grandma's story is, that great grandma. I don't know any of that shit. I don't adhere to any of that bullshit. All right, so I am gonna go ahead and get out of here on that one. But y'all know how I do here. Y'all keep it bougie as F, keep it posh as F, keep it black as F, and y'all be black, y'all. And I'm out. Mwah.